Today we're going to take a look at integrating RadHtmlPlaceholder with RadWindow. RadHtmlPlaceholder is part of Telerik's Rad controls for Silverlight WPF control suite for .NET XAML development. In this video we're going to integrate the RadHtmlPlaceholder with RadWindow. By integrating these two, you can simulate an HTML pop-up behavior from within your Silverlight application. Let's go ahead and jump inside of Visual Studio 2010 and get started. So here we are, we're inside of Visual Studio 2010, and I'm simply going to go File, New Project. I'm going to select Visual C#, Silverlight, and then Rad Control Silverlight Application. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this a name of RadHtmlPlaceholder Integrate TTV for Telerik TV. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and hit the OK button. So we're going to host the Silverlight application in a new website. We're also going to be using Silverlight 5 for this demo. So we hit OK, and I know right off the bat that I'm going to need two controls here. I'm going to need Telerik.windows.controls. This is where the HTML placeholder lives, and I'm also going to need the navigation component for the RadWindow control. So I'll scroll down here and I'll just place a check here in Telerik.windows.controls.navigation. Now that I have those in place, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit the Finish button. So once I hit Finish, it takes just a second to finish spinning up, and we'll see that we have our controls, Telerik.windows.controls, and then Telerik.windows.controls.navigation. So in this application, we're just going to simulate a pop-up using our RadWindow control, and it's going to have content being placed in it by our RadHtmlPlaceholder control. So we're actually going to switch back to code behind and do this through code. You could also do this through XAML as well. Once we double click on our main page.xaml.cs, I'm going to simply add in a loaded event here. And once I have the loaded event, I'm going to begin adding a little bit of code. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my RadWindow. So I'm going to simply tap in RadWindow, and we'll go ahead and we'll fix our using statements while we're here, and I'll just name this RadWindow. So now that we have that declared, we're going to go ahead and we're going to give it a width and a height. So let's just type in RadWindow.width, and we're going to make this equal to 800, and now we'll go ahead and we'll specify a height of 600, and now we're going to go ahead and we'll add in our RadHtmlPlaceholder. So RadHtmlPlaceholder, and we'll just name this RadHtml, and we'll do RadHtml.source URL, and we'll just give this a new URI, and we'll point it towards Bing. Next, we'll set the content of our RadWindow to our RadHtml. Finally, we're going to want to show our RadWindow, so we'll just do a RadWindow.show. So now that we have that in place, just as a quick recap, we're creating our RadWindow, we're giving it a width and a height, then we set up our RadHtmlPlaceholder, we just specify a URI here, and then we set the content of the window to the RadHtml, and then finally we're just going to show it. So now that that's in place, the only other thing that we're going to need to do is we're just going to scroll down to our HTML page, and we're going to set the window list property to true. And if you watch the first part of the series, I go into this a little bit more in depth about why we need this. So now that we have the window list property set to true, which is a requirement for the HTML placeholder control, we can simply right click on our file and we can select View in Browser. So now we see a couple of things just happened. We have our Silverlight application in the background here, and we can just right click and see that. But then we have our RadWindow control that is displaying our Bing web page that we specified in code behind. And of course you could minimize this or you could expand this, or you could just go ahead and you could close this. So this is just a quick and easy way on how to use the RadWindow and RadHtmlPlaceholder control in your Silverlight application. As always, thank you for watching, and please tune in to tv.telerik.com for more videos, and check out blogs.telerik.com for the latest news and announcements.